dark and merciless waters of the Pacific Ocean, a massive merchant ship sailed through the endless sea. The ship belonged to a famous yet fearless trader named Arthur Vance, who was transporting gold, rare treasures, and valuable goods to distant lands. The night was unnaturally silent, but deep beneath the ocean, something terrifying had awakened something beyond human imagination. Dark storm clouds swallowed the sky, ferocious winds screamed across the sea, and gigantic waves crashed against the ship like towering walls. The sailors panicked, but Arthur Vance stood firmly on the deck, refusing to show fear. Suddenly, a deafening explosion erupted beneath the water. The entire ship shook violently. Then, from the depths of the black ocean, a monstrous creature emerged. It was unlike anything any human had ever seen. Its body was larger than a whale. Its glowing red eyes burned like fire, and its razor-sharp claws could rip through steel with ease. Rows of dagger-like teeth filled its enormous mouth. The sailors screamed in terror. "It's the devil of the sea," an old sailor shouted with a trembling voice. In the next moment, the beast attacked. Its massive claws tore through wood and iron as if they were paper. The ship shattered into pieces while screams, blood, and chaos consumed the stormy night. To save himself, Arthur grabbed onto a broken wooden plank and threw himself into the raging sea. For hours he drifted through the violent waves, completely at the mercy of the ocean. Sometimes he felt something massive moving beneath him in the darkness, following him silently through the water. At dawn, half dead and exhausted, Arthur finally washed ashore on a mysterious island. The moment he touched the sand, he collapsed unconscious. When he opened his eyes, he found himself trapped on a lonely and terrifying island. Dense jungle surrounded him on every side, so thick that even sunlight struggled to pass through the trees. Giant roots twisted across the ground like enormous serpents. Somewhere deep within the forest, a horrifying roar echoed through the darkness, followed by the sight of two glowing eyes staring directly at him. At that moment, Arthur realized the horrible truth. He had escaped the monster of the sea, only to enter a far deadlier nightmare. Gripping his knife tightly, he spent the entire night awake and trembling with fear, knowing that at any second, some unseen predator could leap from the darkness and tear him apart. 3 agonizing days passed, hunger and thirst weakened his body until he was finally forced to leave the safety of the beach and venture deep into the jungle. As he moved further beneath the thick canopy, he realized this was no ordinary island. The air carried the sickening smell of decay, and an unnatural silence haunted the forest. Eventually, he discovered a freshwater spring, but the moment he lifted his head, his breath froze in his throat. Perched above him on a massive branch was a gigantic tiger-like beast with glowing red eyes. Arthur stood completely still. He knew that if he panicked and ran, he would die instantly. Fighting his fear, he slowly stepped backward while keeping his eyes locked on the predator for several tense seconds. The creature growled deeply, then vanished silently back into the shadows of the jungle. That terrifying encounter taught Arthur an important lesson. On this island, fear was a death sentence. As weeks passed, he learned how to survive. He built a shelter high in the trees using bamboo and palm leaves, learned how to hunt, start fires, and adapt to the deadly wilderness around him. But the crushing loneliness slowly began destroying his mind. Every day he stared at the endless ocean horizon, wondering if he would ever escape alive. Then one night, a monstrous roar thundered across the island, shaking the entire jungle. Arthur's blood turned cold. The devil of the sea had come to the island,